It can be, well, discouraging would is not the half of it, really. When it comes to looking for work, when you apply for job after job, sometimes you don't get the interviews. Then when you do get the interviews, you're not the successful candidate. Or you apply for jobs and you don't even get a reply to your job application. On the receiving end of rejection, time after time, it certainly takes its toll on people, and it can literally suck the life out of you. How do you deal with that? How do you process that and then continue to put your best foot forward and look like the best candidate, even though you feel like you're being beaten down by life? Man with good advice on this, Tom O'Neill from cv.co.nz. Tom, kia ora, good morning.
Kia ora, my friend. Thanks so much for being back on the show.
It is seasons and cycles for this sort of thing. A couple of years ago, it was pretty difficult to be unemployed. You had to really want to be unemployed. Now, actually, though, it is increasingly difficult to get work. A lot of people have lost work, both in the civil service and some larger industries shutting down recently. There's less jobs out there for the people looking for it. It's just got a bit tougher, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, obviously look at the cutbacks in the government sector alone, tens of thousands of jobs now floating around. And these are very experienced, on the whole, very experienced, educated professionals,
Yeah.
who are now in the market with all the other educated professionals that would normally be in the market, so in that particular area, very tough, particularly also industry, as you say, large scale manufacturing, building, those sort of things, very tight there as well. So very, very tight time at present.
And in amongst that, you've also got a whole bunch of young people that kind of got beaten up by COVID, that are trying to find their way in the world. Really, really tough for people in the job market who can't answer the question, what's your experience? Because they're still looking for the first rung on the ladder. It can be really discouraging for anybody in this scenario. How do we look after ourselves, Tom? How do we make sure that we've got the resilience to keep pushing forward on this?
Yeah, I mean, it is tough. I deal with this on a daily basis with my clients, and I will say, as Christians, we have the greatest resource, obviously God,
Yeah.
and to be able to pray. I think a lot of the time we panic, when we just freak out and all those things. But first you take it to God and actually pray about the situation and give it to God genuinely. I know I'm a bit of a, I'll throw it to God as in when I remember, to actually really honestly dig deep with the Lord and just really pray into it and ask the Lord for, his wisdom, and open doors, those sort of things, and really connect. So that would be the absolute first thing I do. The second thing I do is get a group of people around you, and they can be family or friends, but you kind of want sort of four sorts of people. First one's the listener, the person will just hear what you're saying. You've just missed out on another job, and you can just phone them up and talk, and they'll just sit there and go, I hear you. And just provide that loving support. Second one, a wise one, someone who is, all right, you missed out on that. All right, well, let's have a look at your CV. Okay, you missed out on that. How was your interview? What did you do? And really just try and get some good momentum and actual best practice. Third one, the taskmaster. I'm sure we all know someone who fit this bill in our lives. They're the ones that would just really get us to pull finger. All right, I know you've missed out. I know you can have a little bit of a cry, but tomorrow get another 5-10 CVs out into the marketplace. Just that person who, with love, will push you forward to get your brochure, i.e., your CV, out into the marketplace.
Yep.
And then finally, a cheerleader, a person to share your successes. One of those people that, you get an interview, they're like, woohoo, and that could also be your listener as well. These roles can be filled across, 2 or 3 people, but with someone who'll help you celebrate and that good news through the process and just give you that enthusiasm and momentum to carry you through those really dark times.
I really love this concept, Tom, because actually we probably think, well, what I need is lots of the first person and not so much of the taskmaster. I'm just having a bunch of fun, feeling sorry for myself, and it's all the fault of the people that didn't hire me. and you can get stuck in that rut. But actually, at the same time, you've just got somebody telling you to get on with it, and nobody providing that empathy and listening ear. That's not a very helpful balance either.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, I think a lot of people have one or the other.
Yeah.
They have someone who'll just empathize with them, but then all you end up doing is just digging a hole, and being afraid to come out of the hole. I know people who have just had knockback after knockback, and it's too much, and they just stop.
Yeah.
And if they stop job hunting for 2 weeks, they're now missed out on opportunities for 2 weeks. And then the next 2 weeks are now going to have to restart. So you're not really going to start getting interviews for another sort of 3 weeks by the time you sort of get back to it. And that's where the taskmaster is great, because they'll just make sure that, right, have some time to breathe, but let's get back on the horse. On the other hand, having someone who's just on your back the whole time, you do want to probably throttle them if there's no compassion or empathy there. So, just to really find that balance.
I mean, you talk about 4 people here, but, I mean, you mentioned that this can be in combination. Some people may take several of these roles, but it's a rare individual that does all 4. Would that be fair?
Oh, look, absolutely. So, for example, Sarah, my wife might be a great taskmaster, but also a great cheerleader. She'll be there pushing me, but then when things go right, bam, she's there supporting me. Mate Chris could be that one I come to and just unload, not necessarily, with my wife Sarah, just having to give her all the stress, unloading with my mate Chris. And then a wise one, someone else I know, or who's been through it, or has been through the recruitment process, or is a recruiter, those sort of things that they can take that on. So again, chances are one person can do a range of these different things.
You talked at the beginning about the importance of prayer, and that's a good thing undergirding it. I think also to have a prayer team around you, because actually, if you haven't got the confidence to pray, then you're pretty stuck. But if you can have people praying for you, praying for how you're feeling and your motivation, praying for you when you're in the job interview, and that that people are praying for you. I mean, I'm not saying that, hey, you've got a team of intercessors, that's all your problem solved, but it's a good safety net, isn't it?
Well, we're Christians. We believe in those things. We believe in God. We believe in the spiritual realities of the world. So why would we not reach out to that and utilize that in our job hunt? Long story short, if we firmly believe prayer makes a difference, well, why would you not be reaching out to your, whānau, friends, all that stuff? So, hey, look, I've got this interview tomorrow. I'm a bit nervous. Can we pray? Getting people praying for you and supporting you. I mean, it's a massive, massive, massive part of our life, our career. It takes between, sort of 20 and 65, it takes up, 60% of our days, give or take. Why would we not be bathing this in prayer?
Yeah, no, super good advice. The listener, the wise one, the taskmaster, and the cheerleader. Let's get these 4 people together on our team praying for us as we move forward. Of course, further wisdom and advice. If you'd like a wise one, Tom O'Neill from cv.co.nz. That's a great place to start. Tom, thanks for your wisdom. Thanks for joining us.
Real pleasure. Hey, God bless, mate. Cheers.
Hey, thanks very much for joining us in the Rhema studio. Thanks very much for watching the interview. It's kind of nice to have an audience, actually. And if you did like what you watched, then do give us a like, do give us the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more interviews like that one, or perhaps even better, subscribe and those interviews will come straight to you. Don't forget to turn on your notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.